Hi everyone, this is topic 4.4 Physical and Chemical Changes. This is taken from AP Chemistry College Board. Now, in the topic 4.1, I have already talked about that the chemical systems are of two types, physical change and the chemical change. Physical change, the example you can see here, it's melting of ice because it's changing the physical state from solid to liquid. And chemical change, this is an example which shows the rusting of iron, and it is an example of chemical change because the iron is being oxidized to iron oxide, and that is a chemical reaction. Now, when we are talking about the physical changes involve a change in one or more physical properties with no change in composition. For example, if we are talking about here, the ice is melting, but still the ice has a formula of H2O, the water has a formula of H2O. So it means that the composition is remaining the same, just the physical state has changed. Another example can be boiling water where the liquid is again converted to a gas, and there also you know that H2O will remain H2O, just the liquid state has changed to gas state. Now, all of these physical changes, these are normally accompanied by changes in the intermolecular interactions, because we know that in the solid there is a strong intermolecular interaction. The particles are closely packed together, but in the case of liquid there is weaker intermolecular interactions, and that's why the particles are a little bit apart from each other. And all the physical changes, they can be endothermic or exothermic, and that is why there might be change in the temperature in the system. And a physical change is normally reversible, but it's not always a true thing. When we are talking about the melting of ice, it is a reversible reaction because you can move back from liquid to the solid. But if we take another example where crushing a rock is done, in that case it is a physical change, but still it is an irreversible change. Now, let's talk about the chemical changes. The chemical change is accompanied by the breaking and forming of chemical bonds. Whenever there is a chemical reaction, the bonds are breaking and then the bonds are being formed. So that's when we say that it's a chemical change, and it is described by a chemical equation. For example, if we are talking about hydrogen is reacting with oxygen to form water, we can give a chemical equation to that. And then a chemical change is not reversible, so it means normally it's irreversible reaction. For example, if we are burning a charcoal, it's an example of chemical change, and it's an irreversible change because you can't unburn the charcoal. Then the chemical changes, again, they might be endothermic or exothermic, and similarly here also there is a temperature change we can observe in here. Now, some of the processes can be both physical and chemical change. For example, if we are dissolving the salt in sugar, the sodium chloride in sugar, it's an example of both. We consider it as a physical change because we are dissolving something and it can be separated out by evaporating the water. And it is considered as a chemical change also because the ionic bonds between the sodium and chlorine are broken, and then a new interactions are formed between the water and the ions. So that's why we say that the dissolving of salt is an example of both physical and chemical changes. Like this, there can be many systems where both the changes can be observed at the same time. If you like the video, please subscribe to my channel Log Iota and press the bell icon.